Welcome, guys. It's your girl, Mary Girl Moody, coming here at you to let you know my review for the season finale of American Horror Story Hotel. It's episode 12, titled Be Our Guest. Spoiler warning for those of you out there who do not want to be spoiled on this season finale of American Horror Story Hotel. Turn away now. I'm not going to be held responsible for the hate mail if I spoil it for you. Now that we're good to go. This episode was directed by Bradley Buecker, and it was written by John J. Gray. Mr. Gray, I hope I get a chance to meet you one day and shake your hand. Well done. Well done. What a fantastic season finale. I'm already giving this one a 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up. I think it was spectacular. Let's begin. The scene opens with Liz's death by the Countess's hand, by her gloved hand. You don't see the Countess. You just see Liz and her throat getting cut by the Countess's gloved hand. Huge shock. I mean, a huge way to open the freaking season finale. So Liz is basically telling us about her death and how her and Iris tried to fix the hotel. She tells how her and Iris redecorated the hotel. They used sage to cleanse the spirits. That's what they said to one of the guests. Hilarious. There ain't no amount of sage grown in the world that could rid the Hotel Cortez of the spirits that dwell in there. So, two guests come, and one of the guests is from the movie Haunted House and Waiting. The girl is. I wish I could remember her name, but I loved seeing her in this episode. But Sally shows up in their hotel room immediately, and she basically tells the guests that Iris and Liz couldn't get rid of the pain that is inside the hotel. You can repaint the walls, you can change the linen, take out the mattresses, redo everything, but you can't take away the pain that lingers in the hotel. So she kills the guy. She plunges a hypodermic syringe full of heroin into him and ODs him, kills him. And the girl runs off, but Will Drake is standing at the end of the hallway, which is reminiscent of another opening as well, when I think that was the Devil's Night, of when one of the guests escaped and she ran down the hall, ran into James March, and he kills her. So when the woman runs into Will Drake, he kills her. So Iris is like, oh, damn, not another one, So Iris and Liz basically talk that if all the guests keep killing everybody in the hotel, nobody's going to come stay there. So Iris and Liz meet with all the ghosts. They basically call a meeting. The ghosts' reaction to Liz and Iris asking them not to kill the guests anymore was hilarious. They looked at her like, what? I mean, they were just, that was a great scene. I thought that was hilarious. So Dead Will Drake, by the way, is fierce. I think I love him a lot more as Dead Will Drake than I do Alive Will Drake. That's my opinion. Anyway, Marsh shows up to the meeting and he reminds the ghosts that they need the hotel in order to live. Because where are they going to go if something happens to the hotel? They have nowhere else. So he tells them that the hotel has met all the criteria to be a historical landmark, except one thing. They need to wait until the year 2022, and the hotel will be 100 years old. And at that point, it will be a historical landmark, and there's nothing anybody can do to ever tear the hotel down. So their future home will be secure at that point. So he basically tells the ghosts to behave themselves because they have to. If anything happens to the hotel, where are they going to go? So Iris, later after the meeting, Iris goes to Sally and she apologizes to her for killing her. And it was a really nice, well-written scene, I think. Iris offers to help Sally as well. She gives Sally a cell phone equipped with social media, and Sally gets hooked on it. She does Twitter, Facebook. I mean, she gets completely hooked on social media, and she gathers a huge fan following. So I thought it was a beautiful scene to see Sally in her bed, tucked into her covers, and she's looking at her cell phone, and that cell phone is glaring on her face. Her face is the only light in the dark room, and she's happy. She's happy. I mean, I thought that was very nice. We actually got to see Sally happy. I like that. Okay. So one also really good thing that happens with Sally is that she gets so happy that she tosses her drugs out the window. Heck yeah. I was like, good for you, Sally. That's freaking awesome. Now we see Liz with Will Drake. And Liz and Will have this great conversation about reinventing themselves. We also find out that Liz has put Will Drake's son into a private school. Nobody knows that Will Drake is dead. Not even his fans. So everybody at this point still thinks that he's alive. Now, his business is penniless at this point. And Marsh brings this up to him at the meeting that, I don't remember the linguistics of it, but basically Drake would be penniless very soon. His stocks were worth nothing at this point, even though he's supposedly alive. So Liz tries to convince Will to reinvent himself. So she tells him that she will be the new face of his company. And I love this too. The one-liner award goes to Liz this episode when she tells Will, cut me and I bleed Dior. Love that. One-liner award goes to Liz this episode. Great one-liner. So Liz takes over Will's company, and I love those scenes with Liz taking over Will's company. I mean, she is fierce. You don't want to fuck with Liz when she's your boss. She fires the first person who freaking compromises her authority. I mean, I loved it. She looks also very beautiful in these scenes. It's fantastic. She does shows in the hotel for Will's company. That's funny, too. The ghosts are the models. Nobody can take pictures. Nobody can bring a camera, but you can go to the fashion shows inside the hotel. So they're very exclusive, very wanted, especially since nobody can take pictures or videos. So Liz finally mentions Tristan at this one point where she's looking just absolutely fabulous. She mentions Tristan to Iris. And Iris says, look, I know we haven't seen hide nor hair of Tristan since he died, but I do want to help you as well. So Iris takes Liz to a room where, what was it? Billy Dean, yes, that's it. Billy Dean, Howard, I think it is, from Murder House is waiting for her in the hotel room. I love this little tribute to the Murder House here in this one. Remember, she is the psychic who was going to help Vivian and the family exorcise the spirits from the Murder House. So she's here and she's going to help Liz contact Tristan. So Billy reaches Tristan, but he doesn't want to talk. She also reaches Donovan, and Iris kind of is like, what do you mean? Donovan isn't here in the hotel. And that's when Billy tells Iris, no, Donovan is not here in the hotel. He says that where he is beautiful. And that it's always blueberry pancakes on Saturday morning with you where he is. And that Donovan told Billy to tell Iris, I love you, Mom. I thought that was a very beautiful, touching scene. Another well-written one. And so a little bit of time keeps moving. Liz gets to see his granddaughter, Isabella, be born, and he's accepted by his son, his daughter-in-law, and his family. And things are going very well for him. But unfortunately, as it does for many people, Liz gets cancer. And Liz has what we are revealed later as prostate cancer. And there's no hope. It's in her spine. And she makes a mention that she's the only female or the only woman who's ever been diagnosed with prostate cancer. But the time is coming and it's in her spine. She's not going to make it much longer. And in a very sweet conversation Liz has with Ramona, Ramona offers to turn Liz. And Liz says, no, I don't want to kill people in order to live. So she calls a meeting for the ghosts of the hotel, and she tells them, that she's got cancer, she's going to die, but she wants to be a spirit in the hotel. She wants to be with them, and she wants them to murder her. And all the ghosts, another beautiful scene here. All the ghosts were crestfallen when Liz revealed this to them. They told her that they didn't want to be without her, that they need her, and that they didn't want to murder her. So, again, it was a very beautiful scene, but Liz told them that she wants to be with them forever. They are her family. So Liz lays down on the bed. All the ghosts are standing over Liz, each with their own little tool to stab her. Or Sally has a hypodermic needle, and no surprise there. They get ready to kill her, and here comes the Countess. And she's standing in the doorway, and they have this little speech that how much, the Countess has had to be there for the last moment of her most beautiful creation, which is Liz, obviously. And the Countess, with love, it's very important that you guys know, with love, the Countess uses her gloved hand for the last time and cuts Liz's throat so she will die. And it was a very sad scene that Liz died. But after she does, she's standing over her body, looking at her, smoking a cigarette. And all of a sudden, Tristan appears behind her. I don't even remember what they said to each other. They had this beautiful reunion, but I don't even remember what they said because I was crying so badly from the happiness that Liz got to be with Tristan forever. People, I'm serious. I was crying so much. I was using my ugly cry face. I'm serious.
Changing clothes.
See? That was ugly. So kudos to you, writers. That scene with Liz and Tristan, I just want to cry again, just thinking about it. But that scene with Liz and Tristan was the best scene, in my opinion, in the entire season. My opinion. It was that beautiful. Bravo to you, writers. Bravo to you. That, again, beautiful scene. You should stand up and pat yourself on the back for that one. I was freaking crying bullets. So now we move on. Right after Liz and Tristan have their reunion, we move on to the year 2022 of the Devil's Night. Now, Billie Jean has been there for a while. She's been going through all the rooms. And I love seeing Sarah Paulson as her Billie character. I love seeing her actually as a normal character, somewhat. And her pretty blonde face. Sarah Paulson's a very beautiful young lady. And I love seeing her all perfectly done up like she was done for Billie. Because we're kind of used to seeing her as the gritty Sally this season. And I loved seeing her as the beautiful Billie this last episode. My little thoughts on that. One little thing that she said, and it almost won the one-liner award, but Billie said, Mr. Wu doesn't pay for what? Seeing her face when she was asking the spirit when she was exercising the room in a little film clip. It was really funny to see her say that. And that almost won the one-liner award. So, John shows up while Iris and Liz are watching a little bit of, clips of Billie on the television. And John shows up, and it's known that he's the 10 Commandments killer, obviously. He tells Iris to put Billie into his room because he wants to talk to her. He's tired of her coming to the hotel, and he's tired of all the people that are checking in to ghost hunt and all that crap. He just wants her to leave. So she goes to his room and with her camera crew, and she asks John to appear, and he does. So she interviews him. And so he kind of tells her about what happened to him after he left the hotel with his family. Basically, he took his family away and tried to fulfill the blood obligations for Alex and Holden, but they were always hungry. And Scarlett was the one who told John that they need to go back home. And back home was the hotel. So that's where they went. John took his family back there. And Scarlett went to live in the same school as Will Drake's kid. So that's how Scarlett escaped the hotel. John wanted a better life for her. So while John is killing another person, he does continue to kill people to get blood for his family. So while he's killing a guy, he's caught basically by the cops and he's killed. But he's killed and he keeps crawling before he dies to the hotel because he is shot almost right in front of the hotel. And he tells the officers, please, please let me die in the hotel. And I guess they, do because he's there. He's a ghost. So, okay. So now he's telling, he's telling Billy the story of how he died. And he doesn't tell her, though, what happened to his family. She asks, but he doesn't tell her. So she asks John, why does she only feel his presence mostly during Devil's Night? And he tells her, well, if you leave your camera crew behind and come with me, I'll show you. And people, I am sitting at the screen and I'm yelling at Billy, telling her, no, it's a trap. Don't go. Because we as viewers, we've been to Devil's Night before. We know what is waiting for us up in room, I think it's 66. We know what's waiting for us. This poor woman does not. And you're just shouting at her to make the right choice. Run away. And she doesn't. She takes John's hand and he takes her upstairs to John March's room. Now, on the way there, she makes a mention that this hotel is like a rock concert of dead spirits. And she said, she made a mention that I caught, that she was in a house just like that, just west of the hotel, which would have to be Murder House. I mean, unless obviously it was another haunted house she visited, it's highly possible. But the way she says it and the reason, and when it's put in at the moment that it leads us to believe that it's Murder House. Seems like that line was put there for a reason for the viewers to catch. So I wonder if the Murder House is just west of the hotel. So John takes her to room number 64. 64, it's room 64. That's what it is. Sorry, guys, it's not room 66, it's room 64. That's John March's room. And she gets to meet all of the serial killers. I mean, Zodiac, Eileen, everybody. And John gives Billy a drink, which I'm still shouting at her, don't drink that, don't drink that. But she drinks it, and in a few minutes after that, she starts to trip. And the ghosts just screw with her. I mean, they're standing over her, rubbing her with knives and sniffing her and freaking her out. And she tries to insist that she's not scared and she's okay, but she just breaks at one point. And the ghosts are literally ready to kill her. But that's when John gets in front of her and tells her, look, you have a choice. Either we kill you now or you leave and you never come back and you never do another story on this hotel ever again. And she says, well, you guys are ghosts of the hotel. You can't leave. What's to stop me from keeping my word? And that's when Ramona shows up. And Ramona shows her that she's alive and she's a creature that feasts off people, off their blood. And she tells Billy that if she ever breathes a word about what happened to her in the hotel or comes back or does another expo, another interview, mentions the hotel in any way, shape, or form, Ramona's going to be there to drain her life from her. So needless to say, Billy ran out of the hotel as if her ass was on fire. I love that. That was really great. Now, so after Billy bolts, we see more of John. He goes back to his hotel room. Scarlett looks about 16 years old, and she's sitting in a chair. Alex and Holden are sleeping in the bed, and she tells John, well, Daddy, why don't you go to sleep? And he says, well, I don't want to, because the moment I close my eyes, I know I won't see you again for another year. I guess she comes every Devil's Night for him. Kind of an odd request, but, hey, if it works for their family, who am I to say anything against it? So finally, that scene ends with John closing his eyes and going to sleep and content with, I guess, where he is right now. Now, one last thing on the show, the Countess is sitting at the bar at the hotel. It's kind of popping at that moment, and she's in this beautiful freaking cleavage dress, blue, beautiful dress galore. I mean, she looks spectacular in it. She's smoking a cigarette, she's observing the people, and she goes to sit beside one of the patrons, and she asks him what is he doing in the hotel, and he says he's there for Devil's Night. The hotel is supposedly haunted. Some friends are coming to meet him. And she tells him that he's not going to meet his friends. And he looks to her and he says, I'm not. And she says, or I don't remember what she said, but she looked at him and she strokes her glove against his chin and tells him that he has a jawline for days. And that is how the show closes. So I give this episode a perfect 10, 2 thumbs up. Obviously, my predictions didn't come true, and John was a ghost of the hotel. But Liz ended up happy. She was a ghost of the hotel, and I guess it wasn't so much of a hell as I had assumed, I guess. I guess we don't really know what happened to Iris, but she did kind of get her little happy ending when she got the I love you, Mom from Donovan. And he also said that to her right before he died outside the hotel. I forgot to put that in last week's review. But all in all, again, I think it was a great closing. All questions were answered. Again, it was just a lot of beautiful scenes, a lot of beautiful, shocking scenes. I was completely right when I said that this season finale would not disappoint us at all, and it didn't. So I want to hear what you guys think of the episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Were there some questions that you had that it didn't answer? Was there something special that you loved? Let me know in your comments below. So as a quick message, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who watched my videos, commented, liked, shared, favorited, and all that wonderful stuff. I really appreciate it, guys. I do this for you because I do love this show, and I like to talk to other people who are in love with the show just as much as myself. If you haven't checked out my other videos, go to the description down below. I've got some links. Check out my channel. If you don't want to check out the links, you can see the videos there. And don't worry, I will be here for season 6. And in between now and when season 6 begins, I will be posting updates regarding season 6. So I'm not going anywhere. So click the subscribe and you'll get the videos as soon as I post them. Thank you again very much for hanging with me this season. I freaking love this show. Loved it. Thanks for watching.
No! No!